How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I'm here bringing you guys my ultimate 2023 fantasy football draft guide. And I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into this. So just some basic ground rules here. We are going to be doing a PPR league and a snake draft, as this is more than likely the type of fantasy draft you are going to be doing. And also, everybody drafts their own way. Everybody has their own opinions. This is just my opinion, but I do think that this is going to be one of the best ways to draft a fantasy football team. There's obviously many ways to do it, but I feel like this way is comfortable and confident. I've used it many different times, and it has been working thus far. I've built some pretty solid teams this year using this strategy. Alright, before we dive into this draft, I do also want to go over the way I've been doing the drafting and the way I plan on doing drafting. So the way I plan on doing drafting is, for the majority of rounds, it's going to be top wide receiver or running back talent available, or picking backups. Now, starting in rounds 4 to 6, I'm going to be trying to see, maybe I pick up a tight end, maybe I don't, maybe I do. It really just depends on how the draft goes. Potentially a quarterback is not out of the question, but I really feel like there's a lot of good quarterbacks that will be available later on in the draft. Now, starting round 7, 8, and 9 is where I'm going to really be focusing on getting my quarterback. My starting quarterback is at a definite in this zone, if not sooner, because this is where a lot of quarterbacks are going to go. A lot of your decent starting quarterbacks week in and week out are going to go. Now, rounds 11 to the end are going to be mostly focusing on defense. Draft earlier if you want to be more aggressive on your defense. Draft later if you don't care as much. Obviously, last round for the kicker, because the kicker is the least important position in most situations. And, as we fill up our roster, pick up backups, all that fun stuff. Now, the model I will be tending to go with and I will be trying to stick with is somewhere around 1 defense, 1 kicker, 2 tight ends, 2 or 3 quarterbacks, depending on how things play out, 3 to 5 running backs, and 3 to 5 wide receivers, once again, depending on how things play out and who is available when. Now, I did want to go over some players who I think are over or underrated for fantasy. We'll start off with the overrated players. I got 3 of them. Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. I think he's really on the last stretch of his career. He's still a good running back, but he is definitely on the downward trend. It would not surprise me if he does start to fall off fantasy-wise this year. Up next, we have Jonathan Taylor, mostly because of the incidents that are going on with the Indianapolis Colts. That is a whole nother mess in its own. I might go ahead and make another video on that because it is a whole messed up situation as it is right now. So I am avoiding Jonathan Taylor like the plague. Third, I have Amari Cooper because the Cleveland Browns have never been able to capitalize on talent. And I think Amari Cooper, yes, he does have the potential, but I do think he is going to suffer from being a Cleveland Browns player, and that could hurt him big time in the long run. Now, some potential steals. I got 5 of them. 3 of them are Pittsburgh Steelers. I think everyone's sleeping on that Steelers offense. I think that offense is elite this year. That's why I got Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, and Pat Freiermuth, all underrated, because these players are going to be the core 3, besides Najee, but Najee's properly rated. But these are going to be the next big 3 on that offense that are huge parts of that offense week in and week out. I also have Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets and Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions, mostly because these players do have the potential to be putting up 20, 25, 30 points, especially Rodgers with that offense that he has. Goff has been a very explosive quarterback as well, off and on in his career, so I really feel like this year he is pulling everything together. But now, I guess without further ado, let's just get right into this draft. Alright, so here we are in a fantasy football draft lobby. A minute left to the draft, but we're going to skip that, obviously. But yeah, let's just dive right into the draft here. Alright, so we are on the clock, and we have many options to go. We have easily a solid top 3 right here. Ja'Marr Chase, Cooper Kupp, Bijan Robinson. I think for the sake of this pick, the Falcons have a second-year quarterback. I mean, yes, Ja'Marr Chase is Ja'Marr Chase, but at the same time, I feel like there's a higher potential with Bijan Robinson. He has been a really good rookie, and the Falcons are going to be doing a lot of running this year. But let's see. We'll go with... I might regret this, but we will go with... no, we got to go Ja'Marr Chase. He's a steal at pick 6. Almost had you for a second, didn't I? Well, you guys didn't hear all that, but as you can see, the draft kind of went off the board. Geno Smith went at number 9. Things have gone all over the place. We did end up picking Josh Jacobs because it was between Josh Jacobs and CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown. But there's not a lot of big-name running backs that I want to go for after Jacobs. Because Jonathan Taylor, I want to avoid him because of that whole dispute. And, I mean, you got Jahmyr Gibbs maybe. But there's a lot more big-name wide receivers that I can go with and feel comfortable. All right, so we're almost on the clock here once again, and this draft is really going interesting. Very, very interesting here. You had Patrick Mahomes go off the board, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne. I mean, there's a lot of options. We still have A.J. Brown. You still have Devontae Smith, Najee Harris. There's a lot of good options that we can go with. But I think for this next pick, we're going to be going for A.J. Brown so long as we can secure him. And we'll just assume we got A.J. Brown, and I'll get back if anything changes. All right, and A.J. Brown we trust. All right, almost on the board once again. I think Najee's going to go ahead of me, unfortunately, as I would love to have Najee. But we do have some good options. We still have Jahmyr Gibbs. We still have the option I'm probably going with here, Deebo Samuel. Or I can go with Mark Andrews and get a very, very good tight end. I mean, you still have TJ Hawkins, and you still have some other decent names. But if I could pick up Mark Andrews here in the 4th round, with the team that we currently have and the way this draft is going, I think that is going to be a no-brainer. I mean, just look at how this draft has gone. This has been one of the weirdest drafts I have done all year. And who just went? That was Aaron Jones and Najee Harris in succession. And that means we are going to pick up... we could get Lamar Jackson or even Joe Burrow. So you know what? I'm going to break what I'm going to say here just because this draft is going in such a weird direction. I don't know if I can pass on Joe Burrow. So you know what? I think we're going to go Joe Burrow or Mark Andrews here. And I mean, I could go Mark Andrews and still should be fine. But Joe Burrow is a level of his own at quarterback. He has a lot of offense. And just given the way this draft is going, I should be fine all around the board. So we're going to break it just a little bit to get Joe Burrow because we can. All right, so once again, we have a very interesting draft going on here. And I think that we have options. Now, do we go with a tight end finally here in round 5? I don't know that we do. I mean, we could be aggressive here and go with Lamar Jackson, have a double threat quarterback situation that is a very, very, very tempting option. And you know what? The more I think about it, the more I am going to break from my strategy. I'm going to be a little more aggressive. You know what? No, we don't need to. We don't need to. Because we can go here and we can get a plethora of options here. And once again, I mean, we have Deontay Johnson here. We have Chris Godwin. We have a lot of options here. Calvin Ridley wouldn't be a bad fit. I don't know about Christian Watson just because of the whole situation over there. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and get Deontay Johnson. All right, so we are back on the clock once again. And I think I'm going to hold off on getting my tight end a little bit longer. We can pick up Calvin Ridley right here. And I think that is going to be the easy play right here. Actually, we still need a running back. So with our running back options, I think I'm going to go with Cam Akers. Because I know Akers is getting more involved in that Rams offense. We'll go ahead and pick up Cam Akers for running back. All right, so back on the clock we are. And with the tight end situation here, I think now's the time we pick a tight end. And I know Matt Canada loves his check down offense. So that lends perfectly to Pat Freiermuth. And I do think Kenny Pickett has a huge year this year. Okay, so here we are on the clock once again. And we have a lot of good options. We have George Pickens. We have Brandon Ayuk. We have Breece Hall. Where are we gonna go? Well, we have 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. And there's some decent options at running back still. So I am debating skipping out on George Pickens here, though, because we do need a running back, and Breece Hall is a top-line running back, and that Jets offense is going to be so lethal this year. All right, so we are back now, and I think the next position of interest is going to be, let me just double-check the quarterback situation. Oh, there's still plenty of options. So I think the next best option going to be best player available. We still have room on the tight ends, I believe, to wait a little bit. Well, you know what? I don't know. Do we get Higbee here, or do we just go? No, we cannot reach for Higbee that much. So I think we go Brandon Ayuk, or we go Alexander Madison. I think we go Madison. That's a huge steal this late because we need another running back, and he's going to be a perfect one to fill the gap. Alright, so we are almost on the clock once again, and I can't believe this, but we are about ready to pick up Brandon Aiyuk. That is absolutely unbelievable. There's still decent tight ends available that are going to be available late here. I mean, if we take a look at the tight end situation, Higbee, Dulcich, Gerald Everett, Tyler Conklin, we have options. Now, we obviously could go right here and pick up another tight end, but I think the best play is going to be pick up Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, I can't believe that we're going to be getting Brandon Aiyuk here as well on this team. All right, we are back on the clock once again, and the player I wanted just came off the board, but I do feel good with where we are at, and I think I am about ready to take another quarterback here. We might take a third quarterback late, but Dak Prescott at this point, well, actually that's not going to work because of the bye weeks. That's another thing to always keep in mind. So I think right here we actually do a little bit of a detour, and we take either Michael Pittman or Khalil Herbert, or not Khalil Herbert, but we'll see. And we'll go ahead and take, let's see here. You know what? I might call an audible here. I think Jakobi Meyers will have a decent season given the situation over there, so we got Jakobi Meyers. Alright, so we are once again almost on the clock, and we have a lot of options we can go here. And honestly, I'm thinking we take running back here just because we could always use another running back, and J.K. Dobbins is still available. That is a no-brainer pick for J.K. Dobbins, and we still haven't had to go for a backup tight end yet. Alright, so we are back on the clock, and I think at this point we have to go with a backup tight end. And at this point, Tyler Higbee looks to be the best option. The bye weeks do line up with Freiermuth, so we got Higbee. Alright, so we are back up once again, and we are going to be up to make a selection here. And I think we go defense here. I don't know about the Browns. I don't know about the Panthers. I think that my safest bet to go with is going to be the Bengals. I know that is a solid defensive pick, and really, I just don't really see much of a downside to them, so we'll go with the Bengals. Okay, we are on the clock once again, and I think I'm going to go with a 3-quarterback team here. Oh, wait a minute, we don't even have a backup quarterback, so this is perfect. We need a backup quarterback, and there's a lot of good options available here. But I think my go-to is going to be Kenny Pickett. I think that's going to be a very consistent team. The buys line up with Joe Burrow, so we do have Kenny Pickett. Alright, so we are on the clock once again. This is the last pick of the draft, and this is going to be our kicker. Now, I really do have a good suspicion on the Colts kicker, Matt Gay. Gay is a really reliable kicker, and at the same time, the Colts I don't think they're going to finish a lot of drives this year, so field goals will be through the roof. So there goes Matt Gay, and that is our fantasy draft using fairly close to the strategy I've been using all season. So I figured we would go ahead and take a look at the team we drafted real quick before we end the video. We got a nice starting lineup here. This is a quick little overview for you guys. We will go ahead and do a couple of things just so that Yins can see it a little bit better. There we go. We got Joe Burrow, Josh Jacobs, Cam Akers, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, the Bengals defense, and Matt Gay. On the bench, Breece Hall, Alexander Mattison, Brandon Aiyuk, Jakobi Meyers, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Higbee, and Kenny Pickett. Alright, well that's about going to do it for me today. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like and subscribe. It does help you out a whole lot. It does let me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. Also, let me know in the comments below what you would have done differently in this draft, or what your draft strategy is for the 2023 NFL season. And I guess with that, I will see you guys next time, or I'll see you guys over in the video popping up down here. It's one that YouTube thinks, if I could focus, it's one that YouTube thinks you would like. So, you know, if this focuses, go ahead and check that video out. And I guess I will see you guys next time. And peace out, and have a good one. Sorry about the focus, guys.